G'day, my name's Graham Gordon Thomas, and today I would like to talk about women. I like women, don't you? But the thing is, this Me Too thing, with all the ladies complaining that men are looking at them or winking at them, or maybe causing them some offence in some way just by being men. Let's examine why these women are reacting so outrageously against what is men's often normal behaviour. Now, I'm totally against men touching women without women's permission, sexual harassment, all that sort of thing. I am totally against that. I'm totally against men being forward with women and all of that. But I am for being honest and open, and if I see an attractive woman, looking at them and appreciating their beautiful shapes and the promise of that wonderful sexuality. Am I now condemned because I like women and not men? The thing is, other than those ladies, and in America especially, where there seems to be this playboy pornography society that everyone's recently got into in the big way, and all men appear to think they've got a right, a lot of men have got a right to touch women because they're powerful, and that gives them sort of right. That's an ego trip on the men's part. It also shows they've never learned a little bit about chivalry, which means you always give women respect. But the Me Too generation thing is a little bit more than that. Apart from those women who actually have been sexually harassed, the rest of them seem to have a complaint about men that has nothing to do with being sexually harassed, but their own sexual behaviour. So you'll open a little door to an insight in this, that these women have jumped into the pornographic attitude of society, found it disgusted them when they got involved with relationship with men, jumping into bed with anyone without any romance. You get drunk, get into a porn show with a bloke you hardly know, and then they end up being disgusted about what they have done and been involved with, and then of course that creates a reaction, a negative reaction towards all men, when it's themselves that have given themselves away cheaply. That is the problem. See, feminists seem to decry old-fashioned romance, old-fashioned gentlemen, old-fashioned chivalry, and all those things what used to protect women from being sexually harassed. They don't seem to know what they want, but then they're women. That's not sexist. I just happen to know that women sometimes find it difficult to make up their mind what they want. And to say that I as a man can't make that observation, well, you get to a certain age, well, maybe you can make those observations about men and women. It's no good saying that men can't make observations about women, but women can make observations about men. That is sexist, that is prejudiced, that is biased, that is discrimination. You either are for discrimination or you aren't. That's the point. You better look at the dictionary, what discrimination means, before you start throwing this word around. And the word sexist, if sexist is a man fancying a woman, where does that leave the men of the world? The point then is that all these women wearing all these fancy sexy clothes showing their bottoms and their cleavage should desist doing that, stop doing that. That's what, and showing their legs and the shape of their posteriors, they should stop doing that, and then they will not attract the men they don't want to attract. It's no good going around in an office with the environment where there are males, normal testosterone affected males, when with all sexy clothes on, showing your breasts and everything, and then getting offended because someone fancies your body. If you want men to get to know your mind, don't go draw attention to your body, draw attention to your mind. And if your mind is such a shallow thing that it gets offended when men are attracted to your body when you've shown it, maybe the men are better off staying away from those women and finding women are more down to earth with a sense of humour. I mean, if this is what it gets down to, is finding a person to have a relationship with, men should avoid those women who whinging about men. Obviously, you can't have a relationship with a woman who's constantly whinging about men before you start. You're obviously going to get on her nerves at the first instant and be in for a divorce case, and suddenly you find yourself broke or unemployed, whatever, because you've been hard. Find women that have got a sense of humour, that don't mind being winked at. So you offend a few women by making jokes. Find the ones that laugh at your jokes, go for them. They're open-minded, they're obviously open-hearted. There's too many women in the METOO campaign are cynical, shallow, closed-hearted, closed-minded, and it's because one suspects, unless they're all virgins, one suspects it's because they've given themselves too easily and cheaply to men, and now they feel disgraced by that, and degraded by that, and then they feel that all men who are winking at them or fancy them wants another porn show. So they're reacting, oh no, yak, we don't want that. But maybe society itself, especially in America, starts to need to think about what its values really are before it destroys its own society and causes all the men to run off with foreign women. And now all the men have got to do is become Muslim, or we'll become Muslim, right? And we're looking for Islamic women, and that sorts and leaves, where does it leaves America with thousands and thousands and thousands of spinsters go through life without a man. Go through life without a man. If you cannot abide men and men's testosterone and their natural inclination towards wanting to have sex with women, well, maybe you should avoid marrying them, because marrying men means that their sexual activity is sort of expected. Get back to chivalry, get back to being a lady, get back to dressing up with a bit more decorum. Don't draw attention to your body, draw attention to your intelligence and sense of humour instead, and then maybe you might be worth talking to as women. My name's Graham Gordon Thomas, and I just tell the truth as I see it. If it offends someone, good. I can't stand this, we can't say anything anymore because we might offend someone. Oh, that's offensive. I find that offensive. Bye.